Hi, welcome. Here's your Go Math lesson today, 19.1. We are working on reading pictographs. So the question is, how do you use a pictograph to show data? Use the tally chart to solve the problem. Draw or write to show what you did. So it says favorite hobby. The hobbies are crafts, reading, music, and sports. Hobby is something that you like to do. So, and then they tallied everyone's answers, the people that like crafts, reading, music, and sports, everyone's opinion. Mr. Martin's class made this tally chart. How many more children in his class chose sports than chose reading as their favorite hobby? So first let's read this tally chart. If I look at this tally chart, they are measuring people's favorite hobbies, the most favorite. How many people chose crafts? 6, because this is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 5, and this is 6. So we're just going to go ahead and write what each one is so we can easily read it, and then we'll go back and answer the question. How many people's favorite hobby was reading? 4. How many people's favorite hobby was music? 5. And how many people's favorite hobby was sports? 7. 6, 4, 5, 7. Now I'm going to go down and answer the question. The question is, how many more children in his class chose sports than chose reading as their favorite hobby? So sports, then reading. How many people chose sports?
7.
And how many people chose reading? 4. And what does how many more mean? Subtract. And what's 7 take away 4? 3. So how many more children? 3. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, we're going to move on. A pictograph uses pictures to show data. So here, the number of soccer games, they're using the soccer ball to show us how many soccer games. Now, what's very important when you're reading a pictograph is to always look at the key. This is the key. Each ball stands for one game. A key tells how many each picture stands for. So sometimes they may trick you and they say, well, each picture stands for 2, or each picture stands for 4 or 5, and that way you're counting by 4 or 5 or 2. But here they made it very simple. Each ball stands for one game. So let's read this pictograph. How many soccer games did they have in March? 4. Let's write that next to it. So it's just because it's easier for us to read. How many soccer games did they have in April? 3. How many soccer games in May? 6. And how many soccer games in June? 8. All right, let's go down. Use the pictograph to answer the question. So this pictograph, these two questions go for this pictograph, okay? Both questions go for this pictograph. Yes? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're right. 7. Sorry. I counted it fast and I thought it was 8. But you're right. We should slow down. Make sure we get it right the first time. All right. Thanks for catching that, Dominic. Let's move on. Use the pictograph to answer the questions. Pretzels. So make sure you read the key. It's very important. Each smiley face stands for how many children? One child. So how many people chose pretzels as their favorite snack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's write 8 here. How many people chose grapes?
7.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many people chose popcorn? 3. And how many people chose apples? 6. Excellent. So which snack was chosen the fewest by children? Popcorn. So what are we going to write on the line? Popcorn. Okay. How many more children chose pretzels than apples? What does how many more mean? You need to box that. Whenever you have any kind of math keyword in a problem, it better be boxed. How many more children chose pretzels than apples? So pretzels is 8 and apples is 6. So what's 8? Take away 6. 2. So what's your answer? How many of you agree that this is very easy? Good job. This is an easy, fun lesson. This is one of the lessons I enjoy to teach throughout the year. All right, use the pictograph to answer the questions. Look at the key. Each pencil stands for how many? Each pencil stands for 1 pencil. So Elena has how many pencils?
3.
We're going to write 3. Teresa has how many pencils? 5. John has how many pencils? 4. And Brad?
8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Guys, I like to always, before we read the questions, my very first thing to do is to analyze the graph. Analyze means break it apart. Yeah, even if I don't know what they're going to ask us, I'm just going to go ahead and make it easy for myself so when they ask us, I can easily answer the questions. How do I make it easy myself? By interpreting the graph, by reading it. Okay, by breaking down the information like this. Number 3, how many pencils do Elena and Brad have? What does and mean?
11.
And does not mean 11. What does and mean? Add. That word needs to be box. That means we're going to add Elena and Brad. Elena is 3 and Brad is 8, and 3 plus 8 is?
11.
Good job. All right, moving on. Number 4. Sorry, that's an 8. That looks horrible. I don't know what that looks like. That's an 8. Number 4. How many more pencils does Teresa have than Elena? What does how many more mean? Subtract. You need to box it. Now, does Teresa have than Elena? How many does Teresa have?
5.
How many does Elena have? 5. Take away 3 is? 2. Yes, you have to show the math here. If you just write 2, I'm going to assume you cheated or you guessed. Miss Yusuf, this is simple math. I can do it in my head. Then show me. Write it down. Show me that you know what you're doing. Show me. All right, number 5. Mrs. Green has the same number of pencils as 4 children. How many pencils does she have?
14.
Hold on. Mrs. Green has the same number of pencils as the 4 children. So they're referring to this graph. So the 4 children, Elena 1, Teresa 2, John 3, and Brad 4. She has the same amount as all 4 put together. So that means we're going to add what?
All of them.
All of them. Elena plus Teresa plus John plus Brad. So I'm going to go ahead and count. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So how many pencils does she have? 20. Yep. Let's look at number 6. Christy has 7 pencils. Write 2 sentences to describe how her number of pencils compares to the data in the graph. So Christy has 7 pencils. So Christy has more than who here? If she has 7, she has more than who? Good. Then she has more than Elena, Teresa, and John. So we can write Christy has more pencils than Elena, Teresa, and John. I'm not going to write it. You have to write it. Christy has more pencils than Elena, Teresa, and John. What's another way we can compare it? It says write 2 sentences to compare. That's one sentence. What's another sentence to compare? Very good. Brad has 1 more pencil than Christy. That's another sentence you can write. Brad has 1 more pencil than Christy. Brad has 1 more pencil than Christy. That's another way. All right. So in a minute, you're going to go ahead and complete page 648 to 650 on your own. And then you're going to work on the worksheet, lesson 90, that says read pictographs. This is an easier lesson. It should not take you that much time, but if you do have any questions, please do let me know. I will see you later. Bye.